I understand this is a big jump for some of you. I am here and Kendall is here, at face value within the matrix. To illuminate the pathway in your current perception of the way things are, we have to go through the information from here to here to make sense of this being within the realm of possibility. Is this technically possible? Yes. Am I worthy to be considered by someone at the top of the celebrity culture? Let's examine the evidence and find out. If you didn't know, there's been a war happening behind the scenes in metal over the past couple of years through song lyrics and videos. Some of you may be familiar with the ongoing beef with Periphery, their song Reptile, and the album Hail Stan, which is a play on the words Hail Satan, which had songs and lyrics directed at me peppered throughout the record, concluding in the song Satellites, which is them coming to terms with the loss as far as this competition was concerned. This was before I became a singer, mind you. The alarming majority of fans have no idea of the songs that they're singing along to or what their words mean, and are oblivious to all of this happening right in front of you in plain sight, with the rest, the artists, other bands, YouTubers, labels, etc. observing this war and making a point not to mention me by name. Those the people trust to relay this information to let you know who's who and inform you of developments in the culture, right, have failed to do so. There have been many additional attack songs since then directed at me from some of the biggest bands in metal. Competition, Territory, Fear. I've compiled some of the songs in the playlist in the description. Minors are attack songs directed at me from those who've positioned themselves as enemies. The most obvious one being Dance Gavin Dance on their latest record Jackpot Juicer, in which they took my life as if it was a toy and made their own fictional version, including themselves as playable characters, and played around in the sand like children. To siphon prana, life force, position themselves higher in the social hierarchy, whilst demonstrating enough civility to make this grotesque album palatable. To compensate for the difference in artistic ability by stepping outside the balance of music and attacking my character without having ever met me. Trojan Horse. Did you notice? Bait and switch in an album. I reckon we can extrapolate this whole record and use it to teach young men about the pitfalls of toxic relationships. It's weird to measure your success based upon the level of fame from the people writing diss tracks about you, like the reverse Grammys. But in metal, where I'd hoped to make a home, I am a very important person, despite the present conditions. Intrinsically, objectively. Shadow banned like Nikola Tesla, ahead of his time, at least as far as the songs go. I'm keenly aware of where I fall short and have been training and have demonstrated in this group chat that I can perform a lot better now. Plus, are songs from the other end of the spectrum. Love songs in response to the less said, I think. It's not been an easy road, but I think the redemptive effort has not been completely in vain, and others have resonated with that. Some light amidst the shade. This is an important conversation that's happening amongst artists from across the spectrum, from metal to pop, through lyrics and videos. Thanks to technology, the distance between us has been removed. Conversations like this can occur. It's a conversation that's happening in the open, and now that I'm giving you the key, you can join in and follow along to the discourse. Some lyrics are straightforward and easy to follow, whilst others are more encrypted. This is a cultural event that's happening in front of you, that's been building for quite some time. I've re-uploaded the nadir with the last vocalist to give you an idea. Like I've said, this is complicated and will require you to go through the videos that I've planned in order to understand the picture as a whole. This is why malevolence takes this form: to shock, to overwhelm, to create twists and turns to blur your vision and lead you into disbelief. My job now is to organize this chaotic mess, cut it down to size, and communicate it to those with the hearts and minds to see. One must pass through their emotional resistance, their hearts, as well as their logical one, their minds, in order to process all of this. This is important. This is one layer of disbelief debunked. So once you've processed this, the fact that an artist can be the best in a field and be out of work, like Nikola Tesla, embroiled in conspiracy, closer to home, within the metal world, you can imagine the same being true in pop and the culture at large. Micro, macro. It's natural for people in the field to be curious as to who's who, especially when someone that's popped up out of nowhere. So, in conclusion, is this possible? Yes. Am I worthy to be considered amongst someone who's at the top of the celebrity culture? The evidence suggests that I am. I invite you to use your ears to judge how the Heart Machine compares to the other metal bands on this list. I invite you to use your ears to judge how my voice sounds in comparison to the leading men in pop, The Weeknd, Shawn Mendes, Ed Sheeran, etc. I invite you to use your eyes to examine whether I am a biological match to Kendall or Olivia Copo, and in time compare my words to my former teacher Jordan Peterson, who has lost his way during this process amongst the females of the tribe. I'd rather not have to sell myself like this, but the corruption has taken its toll and it's ruining my life, so I've got to say it as it is and cut down this web of deceit and get back to work. Music, performing, and all the rest. Masculinity is under attack. We as men need to train our eyes to see beyond just what our eyes show. Through this, and realize it is in fact this. Our women need to feel beyond their fear and lust for power and not lose themselves in the matrix. I hope now you can see my worth more clearer and make the appropriate distinctions between reality and delusion. I'm starting from the middle here, the truth, the intrinsic, the objective, and working outwards, cutting through the beta gatekeepers to get to the people. It's the mark of an educated mind to hold two opposing views without leaning into either of them until further evidence becomes available, until the fog is cleared. That's the video. Olivia Rodrigo exposes Kendall Jenner. Next.